Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the clan. It's Jordy, and today I kind of want to discuss something that's been on my mind for a while now. If you recall my last few videos, and one of them where I talk about the fight I got into, I mentioned, if you remember, I mentioned that there was something that I got word of that made me remember, it brought up thoughts of that fight that happened. Well, today I kind of want to talk about what that was that sparked that memory back up. And that is, I, sorry, I'm slow tonight. I'm tired and I'm slow. But what I had got word of is that one of the security guards at my old high school had passed away. He died. And this was, I believe, a few weeks ago. And when I got word of that, it not only did it bring up memories of that fight that I got into, but it also brought up one memory in particular. And I feel now is as good a time as ever to talk about it. Even though I didn't really know this security guard, like me and him weren't close, we weren't buddies or anything, but I don't want to say a tribute to him, but I kind of feel it's necessary to discuss this incident in particular because, I as somebody who's trying to come to terms with a lot of things in my past, I feel like now's a good time as ever to discuss this. And this story that I'm telling you in this video was actually my junior year of high school, so I was in 11th grade. And if you remember, this was during the when COVID was a thing, and we were just now being allowed to go back on site at school, because in 10th grade, that was when COVID first broke out, so we had to do online stuff. But 11th grade is when I finally got to go back, and we all had to wear masks. It was a whole thing. You all remember. You know. But this story starts out with me and a girl. So I don't want to say we were dating because it was never official, but everybody at the school assumed that we were because we were very, I guess you could say, flirtatious with one another. And this girl was not a good influence, to say the least. She was one of the hood kids, the wannabe gangsters. The ghetto ones, the ones that I mentioned in the other video. This girl was not a good influence, and it came to, or one day it kind of, you see, the thing is, since we're just getting back on site from COVID, and COVID's still a thing, what my school did was that they divided lunch. Instead of having one lunchtime for the entire school, they had what's called A lunch and B lunch. So like half the school will have lunch at this time earlier in the day, and B lunch will be later in the day, as a way to promote social distancing. And typically, every day for me, I always had A lunch. And the problem I had with this A lunch, B lunch crap is that not everybody I was friends with had the same lunch as me. And as a matter of fact, most of my friends had B lunch, and this girl in particular had B lunch. And I remember me getting out of class, and she pulls me aside. She's saying, "Hey, you should come meet me in this room during lunch." And that was at that point I assumed that we had the same lunch, which I come to find out later we didn't. I assumed that we had the same lunch. As it turns out, she had B lunch and she was skipping class. So I had my A lunch. I didn't find her anywhere because she had B lunch. I had A lunch. So after I go back to class from lunch, I had a really cool teacher who was really cool. He let us literally do anything we wanted as long as we got our work done. So I got all my work done, and I actually asked for permission. This guy, I love this guy, by the way. He actually lets me leave class, and I told him I was going to go outside to the basketball court to play. But instead of actually going to the basketball court, I went to go find this girl, and she was in B lunch, and apparently she was in a room that she wasn't supposed to be in. And not even like 5 minutes into me getting there, the security guards discover us in the room. And that was something that shocked the shit out of me, because when they confronted us, she lost her fucking mind. It was like a yelling match back and forth. I was just sitting there just watched, like in shock, like, oh my god. I don't remember anything that was said, but that's how that went. It was just a yelling match, and we all eventually went back to class. I don't know what happened to her after that, but what's next? So a few days later, I'm in one of my other classes. This was, I believe, after lunch. I was in one of my other classes, and I had this particularly annoying kid in my class who loved to torment me, loved getting in my business. He just loved making me mad because he knew how easy it was to make me mad. And eventually, like, me and my friend, because I had two friends in that class, the three of us were just talking, and this guy barges on his way into the conversation, and I got fed up, and I said these exact words: "Why don't you go fuck yourself and stay the hell out of it?" I said those exact words. And what I didn't know, what I was not aware of, is after I said that, because when I said that, that seemed to shut him up. That actually, he actually listened to what I said. He shut the fuck up. He just sat his fucking ass down. And that was that. Or at the very least, I thought that was that. As it turns out, when I yelled at him, and I said, "Go fuck yourself," they called the security guards on me just for saying, "Go fuck yourself." And the one guard that they sent to confront me about it is actually the same one that I heard of that passed away recently. But more on that later. He starts confronting me, and he doesn't even, like, before, he never gave me a chance to explain myself, because I was trying to explain what the hell I was doing, and he was going off about how, he's like, "Look, we've been getting a lot of reports, you're hanging with these weird, you hung with that one girl," because they did not like her, and they knew about me hanging out with her. So he started bringing up a bunch of other things. He's like, "We've gotten a lot of reports of you doing such and such," and I'm like, I'm genuinely like in shock, and I'm like, I said these exact words. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he wouldn't like give me a chance to explain myself. He just kept going on, like reading me my fucking Miranda rights at that point. It eventually got to a point where I asked him, "Why are you in here now?" And he said, did you tell him to go fuck himself?" I looked him in the eye. I'm like, yeah, I did. I told him to go fuck himself, and I'll do it again if I have to. Eventually, like, as he just goes on, because he was not giving me a chance to explain myself, I got fed up. I snapped. I snapped at this guy. I yelled at him. I cussed him out. I went out into the hallways and cussed this guy out. It was the very first time in a long while where I had lost my cool, because I thought at that point I was past that. I said a lot of bad things, a lot of things that I don't particularly want to say or reminisce on, but eventually all that calms down, and I just go, like, I go to the counselor's office. I stayed there until I was good enough to go back to class. And I bring this up because it's like I said, that was the first time I had actually lost my cool in a long while, because I had a history especially back in elementary school, like losing my cool, like flipping desks, cussing people out. And that's part of the reason why I was put in a school for kids with special needs, because I'm autistic, and that's a symptom of that. Nowadays, I don't really. I mean, I obviously still get angry, but you know, I don't. I'm not. I'm long past breaking things. But that was the first time in a while I lost my cool. And as of a few weeks ago, I get word that this same security guard, the one that I cursed out, has passed away. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel guilty, just a little bit. I mean, I don't regret anything that I did. I mean, he wasn't giving me a chance to explain my side of the story. And I'm not ashamed of telling that kid. I'm not ashamed of swearing at him. I'm not ashamed of that. Still to this day, I'm not ashamed of it. And he was like going off. He was saying like, "Oh, this isn't you. This isn't you." And I think when I heard of when he said this isn't you, I straight up said, "You don't know me. You do not know me. When's the last time me and you had a fucking conversation?" That's like that. I said those exact words. You don't know me, so stop pretending like you do. Literally, when he said this isn't you, it reminded me of a line from Ninjago, where it was actually the season 9 finale when Lloyd and Garmadon were fighting at the top of the tower. That's what Lloyd was saying to Garmadon. "Please, this isn't you." That's what that reminded me of. I don't know if I actually said it on the spot, but that's what I was thinking of when it happened. And you know, I kind of feel guilty knowing this, or thinking about this, knowing that somebody that I cursed out, and he was somebody that everybody loved. Everybody in the school, a lot of my friends like this guy. This guy was someone people look up to, and I don't really think anybody really knows what had happened that day, but I remember. And I don't regret what I said. I don't regret what I did, but my condolences go out to this guy. Even though I did what I did, I am able to put that aside and say rest in peace. Even though me and him weren't particularly close, and my only interaction with him was an argument, I'm gonna put my pride to the side and humble myself and say, yes, I did that. I'm not sorry, but at the same time, rest in peace. We don't know each other that well. If he's up there listening to me, if he can somehow hear me, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that loved you and that cared about you, and I may not have been one of them, but my heart goes out to you. I don't wish death upon anybody, and I don't think anybody should, but rest in peace. I have no regrets, but my heart goes out to you and everybody that knew you, and I honestly hope that making this video will allow me to think of it, or allow me to come to terms with this, because not only when I got word that he passed away, not only did I think about this, but it reminded me of the other video that I made. But yeah, that's all I have. That's all I have on my end. That's all I have to say. Guess that'll be it for this video. I got some more story times. If you like the story times, drop a like, hit subscribe, because I've got a lot of stories, and I plan to tell a lot of them in the future if anybody's interested. So this is Jordy Way signing off. I'll see you guys later. Where's the stop button?